At 2:14 in the morning, I was yanked out of dead sleep by sirens and a weird orange glow bouncing off my bedroom walls. You ever get jolted awake by something so surreal your first thought is, okay, I'm probably dreaming or dead. And then you realize, nope, this is real, and it's about to get even weirder? That was me, standing at my window in a t-shirt and boxers, looking down at the end of our pristine little cul-de-sac, where a 3-alarm blaze was turning the night into a bad acid trip. There's a ladder truck straddling 2 driveways like some prehistoric beast, hoses snaking all over the asphalt, firefighters running with axes, and air tanks utter chaos. And over the roar, just as my brain's starting to catch up, here comes the beep 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 of a tow truck, lights flashing, backing its way toward the actual fire engine. I swear, you can't make this stuff up. Right in the middle of it all, our HOA president, Beverly Straudiep, that Beverly shows up in her quilted blazer and pearls, pointing like she's leading troops at Waterloo. "Remove that unauthorized vehicle," she shrieks, looking at the fire truck like it's a rusty old Honda parked on her azaleas. The firefighter, this guy with more soot on his face than I got sense, just blinks at her, mouth moving but no sound coming out, like even his brain can't process this level of crazy. "Ma'am, we're fighting a fire," he manages, but Beverly's not even listening. I can't help grab my phone and start recording because who's going to believe this story otherwise? Now, before I get ahead of myself, let me back up a sec. My name's Roman Hale. I'm a neighbor who keeps to himself, pays the HOA dues, waters the plants, and keeps half-finished projects stacked in the garage. Lark Summit is one of those places where the grass is so perfect it practically salutes you as you walk by. Every lawn clipped to exactly 2¼ inches. Every mailbox is regulation beige or gray, and God help you if you hang a wreath before December. And presiding over it all is Beverly Picture, someone who honestly believes the Geneva Conventions should govern mailbox heights and carries not 1 but 3 laminated copies of the community rules in her purse at all times. I once saw her cite section and subsection to a grocery store cashier because somebody's reusable bag had a logo on it. Yeah, that happened. So tonight, when the old fixer-upper at the end of the hill finally went up in flames after 6 months of sitting empty because Beverly and her committee couldn't approve paint samples in under a year off course, she didn't see a crisis. She saw a golden opportunity to flex her power. Before the fire even made it through the roof, before the first window even popped, Beverly was out there with a bullhorn going door to door, broadcasting like we were under air raid. No parking on common pavement. Rules are rules, people. She was slapping neon citations on cars people had literally moved out of the way to help emergency vehicles. You can't make it up. She even scolded a paramedic about noise limits as the guy's unloading gear from his ambulance like, "Lady, he's got more important things to do than listen to you read the bylaws at 2 a.m. When the fire captain, this guy looks like he's seen it all, tries to explain they need the ladder truck, right where it is for aerial access, Beverly pulls out her phone, starts snapping photos like she's building a criminal case. The captain shrugs, refuses to move the truck, and Beverly whips out her secret weapon. Calling the HOA's contracted towing company, reporting an abandoned commercial vehicle that needs immediate removal. And while she's waiting, she's literally doing a live stream, face lit up orange by the fire, telling her phone how Lark Summit maintains its community standards even under the most stressful circumstances. I'm telling you, she'd narrate the apocalypse if she could get enough Wi-Fi. 15 minutes later, this poor tow truck driver rolls up, looking like he just crawled out of bed and was promised triple pay. He stares at the fire, the engines, the chaos, realizes Beverly actually wants him to tow a fire truck in the middle of an emergency, and he just shakes his head. "Ma'am, this is way above my pay grade," he says, already inching his truck backwards. But Beverly's not having it. She insists, voice rising over the noise. "You are authorized. I am the president of this HOA, and I am directing you to remove that vehicle." The tow guy, who honestly just wants to go home, points out that it's a fire truck they can park wherever they damn well please. Beverly goes red in the face and, no kidding, tries to physically wave him around the fire hydrant, actually blocking the supply hose that's keeping the flames from swallowing the whole block. That's when Engine 72's pump operator radios dispatch. Calm as you please. Dispatch. We have interference with active fire suppression at our location. Please send law enforcement. You could almost hear the eye roll through the static. 2 sheriff's cars show up minutes later. These are people who'd rather be anywhere else at 2:30 and immediately put themselves between Beverly and the hose. One of them, a woman with a "don't test me" vibe, tells Beverly to step back. Beverly, never one to back down, starts ranting about curb regulations and how the fire department failed to submit a proper event form to her committee, as if the fire scheduled itself for tonight. The fire captain, covered in soot and about 2 minutes from retirement by the look on his face, whips out a copy of the municipal fire code and points at the flaming house behind him. State law trumps your HOA rules, ma'am. We don't need permission to put out a fire. Meanwhile, the deputy's checking Beverly's phone because she wants her frantic text to the board entered into the official record. He scrolls through her messages, eyebrows shooting up with every line, and finally just reads one aloud. Ma'am, you texted the board that you were going to have emergency vehicles towed at 2 a.m. during an active structure fire. His partner lets out a low whistle. The tow operator's told to clear out, and Beverly's told, for the 100th time, to get out of the way. But Beverly's not going quietly. She plants her feet, declares that Lark Summit will not be bullied by municipal hobbyists, and before anyone can stop her, she grabs the tow truck's remote from the operator, mashes a button, and sends the boom arm swinging. It clips the fire hose, the one under all that pressure, which promptly whiplashes, sending a geyser of water straight into Beverly's perfect hair, soaking her from head to toe and launching her pearls across the pavement like hailstones. I mean, it was honestly the most satisfying thing I'd seen all year. The firefighter killed the water pressure, but the whole street was frozen, staring at Beverly, who looked like she'd just lost a water balloon fight to God himself. One of the deputies, looking like he's been waiting his whole career for this, starts reading Beverly her rights. You are under arrest for obstruction of emergency services, interfering with firefighting operations, and tampering with emergency equipment. The handcuffs click, the crowd of neighbors still in pajamas, barefoot, some clutching mugs of coffee they probably brewed just to survive this night star to cheer. And Beverly, drenched and sputtering, yells, "You can't arrest an HOA president. I have authority here." The deputy, deadpan as a stone, just says, "Watch me. If that isn't justice, I don't know what is." With Beverly finally out of the way, everyone snapped back into action, helping firefighters haul gear, coaxing a terrified orange tabby down from a tree, dragging garden hoses around to keep sparks from leaping the fence. By sunrise, the fire was out, the house nothing but a smoldering skeleton wrapped in caution tape. The cat was grumpy but alive, and the block smelled like a bonfire gone horribly wrong. Beverly spent the morning in county holding, officially charged and fingerprinted, while the HOA board held an emergency meeting without her. Of course, Ann voted to suspend her presidency effective immediately. The city sent the HOA a bill for $3,000 to replace the ruined fire hose. The towing company cut ties with Lark Summit, citing liability concerns and unprofessional conduct. And a judge hit Beverly with a protective order. She's not allowed within 100 feet of any active emergency scene sirens, flashing lights, you name it. Oh, and just for good measure, she was sentenced to 200 hours of community service polishing fire hydrants under the direct supervision of the same fire crew she tried to tow. Saturday mornings at 6 a.m., wearing a neon vest that said, "Hydrant Helper," in letters the size of Texas. You can't buy that kind of karma. And yeah, Beverly being Beverly, she ranted to the judge about miscarriages of justice and appeals and what another face matching the color of the fire truck as the gavel came down. But for once, nobody cared what Beverly wanted. And let me tell you, watching her walk out of that courtroom, still damp around the edges, clutching her ruined pearls, was about as close to poetic as real life ever gets in suburbia. So, here's the thing after all that. Some folks said Beverly got exactly what she deserved, that justice was served, and maybe now the HOA would start acting like a community instead of a dictatorship. Others worried we'd just traded one headache for another, and without her keeping everyone in line, Lark Summit might fall apart. Me? I just hope we can go 1 month without a headline, a siren, or someone getting hosed down in the street. But hey, you tell me, is that justice or just another night in a neighborhood from hell? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Where does the line fall between order and overreach? And have you ever seen an HOA showdown like that? Let's hear it. Whose side are you on?